Adrian Wojnarowski of the Vertical here at Las Vegas Summer League with the new Brooklyn Nets general manager, Sean Marks. Sean, thanks for jumping in here with us.
Thanks for having me, Woj.
You were prepared with Pop, with R.C. Buford in the Spurs front office, 1 year as an assistant and a few more in the front office.
Yeah.
Taking over in Brooklyn, your immediate priorities and trying to figure out where do I start? Hiring of Kenny Atkinson as a coach,
Sure.
certainly. Karis LeVert, your first round pick at number 20 after a trade to get up into the first round in a year you didn't have
Yep.
a first round pick. How has that process gone, and how have you identified the first few things that are important in a job where there is a lot for you
Yeah.
to tackle here coming into really a complete start over?
Yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's been a great one. I think right from the get-go, I came in there, I brought Trajan Langdon with me straight off the bat, and we said, look, we're going to establish this, a foundation, a culture right from the get-go. So everybody we're bringing in, obviously Kenny being at the helm on the court, he's going to set the tone there, and it's obvious with what he's been around in Atlanta and also in New York, the player development and also the culture that he's going to do, that caring player-first mentality, which is terrific, and all the staff members that we've brought in here. We're lucky to have a great group in there from all the assistant coaches, the entire performance team, and the rest of the front office team. It's been a tremendous summer for us, so we're excited about it.
Sean, you made a couple plays in restricted free agency. Alan Crabb from Portland, a $75 million offer sheet, and Tyler Johnson from Miami at $50 million. Two young players you identified out in the market. Both offer sheets were matched. What was the mindset in going into restricted free agency and maybe trying to pluck a young asset as you start to build the foundation of your group?
Yeah, well, you mentioned before, without having the draft picks and so forth, it's important for us when we're going to start, we're going to go young, we're going to get good high character individuals, and both those two we had targeted as being just that. So obviously we're disappointed we didn't get them, but at the same time, the fact that those two chose to sign offer sheets with us, I think speaks volumes of where we're trying to head, and they wanted to be part of Kenny's vision and so forth moving forward. So it didn't work out this time, but it's left us a lot of flexibility moving forward, and we're bringing in some really great vets and so forth to carry the foothold.
Sure. People always talk about culture and building a culture. What has it meant so far? And you talk about identifying players with character, a work ethic. How have you seen it so far in your facility with Kenny and the staff he put together? How have you seen that start to take its shape in Brooklyn?
It's just been great when you go into the gym and you see balls bouncing and guys coming back, flying in. Brooks being in the facility, so our older vets are being in there, and they're wanting to buy into this. They're part of it. They've jumped on board right from the get-go, and that's a total credit to what Kenny and his staff have done. And they love the atmosphere that's around there. Again, it's that player-friendly atmosphere, and we're putting everything forward for those guys.
Sean, because of the draft situation you inherited where you don't have picks going forward, and you have years where you have to swap picks, so potentially a high pick you would have might become a late first-round pick.
Sure.
There's no incentive to, I don't want to use the word tank, I know that word doesn't exist, but there's no incentive to do anything but try to win games because finishing low, there's not a reward for you. You're in it's an interesting balance for you to walk, isn't it?
Yeah, we're certainly good. I mean, everybody we're bringing in is competitive, so we're definitely going to try and win games. There's no tanking, as you put it, so we won't be doing that, but we'll be doing this systematically. We're not going to go out there and just because we missed out on Tyler and Alan doesn't mean, okay, well now we've got $30 more million to go and spend somewhere else. We'll be doing this strategically, and we'll wait and see where our plays get made.
The Thad Young trade with Indiana that brought you back to 20th pick, used it on Karis LeVert from Michigan, who is a player who's coming off a significant injury. Was he a player that, in your evaluation, and obviously prior in San Antonio when he was an underclassman who everybody thought maybe was potentially a lottery pick, your comfort level with the fact that he is healthy, he's going to get back, and that I think you sensed at 20 you might have gotten some value there based on the research you had done and a sense that, in the long term, this is a player who may have gone higher.
No, you're absolutely right. We're very high on him. It's somebody we targeted very early. As soon as I got to Brooklyn, I was obviously familiar with him from the days in San Antonio. But it's a calculated risk there. I mean, we love the person that Karras is, high character individual, and we love to get him on a rookie scale contract, which we have. So we now control that contract going forward. We're obviously betting on our coaching staff, the player development, but we're also betting on a performance team, which we've put in there.
Sean, you worked with arguably the best GM in the league, R.C. Buford, maybe ever. You're with him every day for several years. You thought you knew what this job was like.
Yeah.
Did you really know until you get in that seat of all of a sudden everything you are responsible for, everything that that goes under your umbrella?
No, you're never prepared. You think you're prepared. I asked him before I left, I said, do you think I can do this? And he said, yeah, 100%, go do it. But at the same time, he never told me that I couldn't put my phone down ever, But, he and Pop were terrific. I speak to them still very regularly, and they make sure I'm not screwing things up too badly. But for mentors, those guys have been the best, and they're incredible.
One of the things that was important to you when you took the Brooklyn job was the belief that there was going to be a process here, and there had to be patience. With Mikhail Prokhorov, your owner, with the upper manager, the ownership group in Brooklyn. Has it followed that blueprint so far? Have they been real supportive of everything you're trying to do?
Yeah, no, it has. They've been absolutely terrific. They understand that this is a process, as you mentioned before. This is not something, it's not a quick fix. We're not jumping into this thing and going to try and blow our brains out, and then next thing you know, we're going for a championship again in a year. We're going to do this the right way and strategically with, as I mentioned before, high character, competitive individuals. So they're 100% on board.
Sean, good luck the rest of Summer League. Thanks for stopping in here with us.
Cheers.
For more on the Nets, the rest of the NBA, go to thevertical.com. I'm Adrian Wojnarowski with The Vertical.